Hey everyone, am I audible, guys?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You
Yes,
are
sir.
audible.
Yes, sir. We
Thank
are.
you. Thank you so much, guys. Welcome you all in the session. How you all? All doing good?
Fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Fine.
Good, good. Going good, sir.
To everyone. This is the first session we are starting in 2025 for the SD-WAN.
Yeah.
Wish you all the best for everyone and Happy New Year.
Yeah. Happy New Year too as well, sir.
All right. Gajanan, how are you?
I'm good, sir. Good, sir.
Great, great. Which company right now you are?
I'm in HCL, but I want to switch, so that's why again I came for SDWAN batch.
Good, 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 good. All right. So let's wait for one more minute. Then we'll start the session. Okay.
Yeah, sure,
Uh,
sure.
so just wait for one more minute.
All right, sir.
Let me. All right, guys. So thanks for joining this session. Okay. And I wish you all the best for everyone. And I hope this is going to be game changing for everyone because in 2025, we know that a lot of demand for the network engineer, especially for the advanced network engineers and the advanced security engineers. So it's a good time to start something very new and go in the next level of your career. So that's why I'm here and I'll be the instructor. I'm going to talk about the next gen networking, that is Cisco SD-WAN. And we'll try to understand why this Cisco SD-WAN is very important and what are the key component in the Cisco SD-WAN, how this Cisco SD-WAN is going to be game changer for the networking domain, and why every organization is trying to look the Cisco SD-WAN engineer nowadays. Means if you have the normal legacy routing switching skill set, and if you're trying to get a high paid salary, if you want to grow in the career, that probably not going to enough for you. So it's compulsion for the everyone to upgrade themselves in the new technology.
Yeah, Yuvraj.
Rahul,
Even
unmute yourself. Yeah, please guys mute yourself. If you have any question, raise your hand, or probably you can ask question directly by unmuting yourself. Okay, there is no problem at all. All right. So in today's session, we are trying to explore overall journey, how this SD-WAN is going to look like, what kind of content you are going to get throughout this session, what kind of lab you are going to get throughout this session, and by end of the session, what kind of the learning you are going to get, which is going to transform your career. That's the more important, right? Because if we are going to invest something, not only money, even time is more precious. So after investing your time, if you're not going to get some value addition in your career, that is totally waste of your money, totally waste of your time. So this is my commitment and this is a GuiNet commitment. If you are going to stay with us, you are definitely going to add some your value in your resume, and that is going to game change for your career, right? The way we design this training, the way we are going to provide the lab and the real time scenario, definitely it is going to give you the boost in your career, and also it is going to give the real time in life scenario access where you are going to understand what is the step by step process, what is the step by step approach, and how even you can do the step by step configuration, implementation, and troubleshooting for any legacy WAN scenario to SD-WAN scenario. All right. So welcome you all once again. The world of the next generation networking, that is Cisco SD-WAN. You can see the next generation networking. Why next generation networking? Because it's not normal LAN or normal WAN. It's not a normal LAN and normal WAN. Here you are going to get apart from LAN and WAN because it's a SD-WAN. Okay. And this SD-WAN is known as a software defined networking. All right. So moving next, how this basically all overall program is going to be look like. And I'm going to discuss about that training program, training methodology, and the learning outcome. That also you should know because you are here. So this is your right to understand. So definitely when we start this training, let's suppose we are starting this in January. So this training is going to end in the March. Okay. So whole January, whole February, we are going to discuss, and probably first week or second week of March, we are going to complete this training. So almost 2 months or sometime 2+ month is going to be happen, because the weekend batch we are going to start, and this weekend batch is going to start from 10 a.m. IST to 12:30 p.m. IST. If this time is not suitable for anyone, no need to worry. We have the alternate time also. The same time, 10 p.m. IST to 8:30 p.m. IST to 10 p.m. IST. So this is the 90-minute class is going to be happen, and this is your almost 150-minute class is going to happen, or 120+ minute class is going to happen. So both weekdays and weekend option is available, but this primarily after today's session we are going to decide with how many people are going to enroll for the weekdays and how many people are going to enroll for the weekend, and accordingly we'll plan the batch. So don't worry about the timings. It's a totally flexible. It's up to you guys, and you just have to talk to your counselors. They will guide you about the timing and all. But overall training duration is going to happen 2+ month, where you are going to learn a lot about the Cisco SD-WAN. You are going to compare with the legacy SD-WAN, and also this entire training is going to happen online instructor led training. So I'll be your instructor. I'll be going to interact on daily basis, and everything whatever I'm going to explain in the classes, you have to do in your labs. And if you have any challenges, you have to discuss with me during the classes. So we might be have the one-to-one interactions. You can discuss the challenges. Your colleague is also going to be there. They're also going to help out, like in terms of the any kind of the issue is going to arise. So you can going to get the enhance your troubleshooting skills as well, because this is how the learning is going to be happen, right? Once you complete this training, so what basically outcome and what the value addition is going to happen in your career, that's the more important. So trust me, if you are going to compare your colleagues which is working in the same industry, might be they are the network engineer, might be they are a security engineer, just go and ask how many engineers have the skill set of the LAN plus WAN plus SD-WAN. Still you are going to figure it out. Very less engineer have the good quality knowledge of the SD-WAN. Trust me. It is true. You just check it. Out of 10, if you're going to check, probably 2 or 3 people are only having the good SD-WAN knowledge. If I'm talking the good SD-WAN knowledge, it doesn't mean you just completed your trainings, you just done the certification, that is eligible for the SD-WAN engineer. No. It means you have the real-time scenario troubleshooting skills, you have the real-time scenario implementation skills, deployment skill, designing skills, and migration skills. If you have that much knowledge, then you are the real SD-WAN engineer. Else there is no definition of the SD-WAN engineer. How you can deploy any new routers, SD-WAN router in the production environment? How you can start doing the zero-day provisioning if you don't have the right knowledge? So learning or giving the certification, totally different thing. Real knowledge or deploying the things, a totally different thing. So still we having the very high demand in the market, but still very less engineer available in the market. Just go and search in the naukri.com or any other job portals. You're going to find a lot of people are hunting, means a lot of companies are hunting for the Cisco SD-WAN engineer, and they are paying a lot of money. So once you are going to get this learning from us, we are very committed, right? So we are going to provide the real-time lab scenario, and where you are going to practice. Let me show you even where you are going to practice each and everything, whatever you are going to cover in the classes on these labs. Okay. So in this lab, it's a very big lab. We having the multiple branch locations. We have the control plane location, data center locations. We have this branch. Even we have the VH routers. You might be don't know what is a VH router. At the same time, it's out of syllabus. There is CH router. If you're going in find in the industry CH deployment, probably very less people are going to tell you how the CH is going to deploy, because they have a lot of challenges in deployment. In our lab, we are going to learn how even the CH is going to deploy. If you have some basic knowledge of Cisco SD-WAN, you can understand what is the VH, what is CH. If you don't have any knowledge, wait, I'll explain everything. Even we have the firewall integrations, where we are going to test the service insertion kind of the concept, because I'm the instructor of the firewalls. I keep like doing training on the FortiGate firewall, Palo Alto firewall, Checkpoint firewall, SA firewall. So I know how firewall feature is also going to play a very vital role in the network and security, and how this SD-WAN is incomplete without the firewall feature. So even you want to integrate the security component in the SD-WAN fabric, then how it is going to happen and how this is going to integrate by the your legacy topology or maybe the SD-WAN topology. So we can integrate the third-party firewalls feature. We can understand what is service insertions, how it is going to integrate it, and then also we can design the data center where we have the two branch, means two edge routers going to sit on the same locations, and then how we can do the manipulation, path preference, weight level manipulations, route preference, right, policy based manipulations, that we are going to understand. We have the dual transport, internet plus MPLS, that also we are going to build the underlay connectivity versus overlay connectivity. So you guys are going to get a very big lab. On this big lab, you are going to do a lot of, like, from just someone someone asked for the recording. So I'm just denying that. You need a recording, you just reach out to us, we'll give that. Okay, you can reach out this number, someone is give the recording as well. So if you want to deploy, so first you have to understand what is the underlay connectivity. I have seen people are giving the interview, and if they are going to ask for any difference between underlay and overlay, people are very much confused because they not have the right path to define what does means underlay and what does means overlay. So we'll try to understand how the underlay connectivity is going to build. Then on top of that underlay connectivity, how my overlay fabric is going to build from the one branch to another branch. That is my IPsec connectivity for the data traffic, right? And if I talk about the controllers, then my how DTLS, how my TLS connection is going to build. If I talk about the like vSmart to the VH router, then we'll try to understand how OMP is going to build, and inside of the IPsec, how the BFD tunnel is going to build. So that we have to understand for the overlay point of view. But before we are going to build overlay, how basic underlay reachability, that is your required the static routing, and that is also required your BGP, that is your dynamic routing. So how this static routing, how this dynamic routing going to come in a picture? That's why we have the MPLS. You can see BGPS number is there. I'll show the full lab topology, small snap, and then we have to run the BGP also, and also we have to run the IGP, where we use the static routing, and based on that we can build the end-to-end topology. Make sense? So that basically you are going to get the 24 into lab access. By gaining that 24 into lab access, you can do your practice, whatever you are going to teach during the classes, or like give the insight about the SD-WAN, that you are going to do in live practice, which is going to available 24 into 7. Means it's not like something is going to stop in midnight, something is going to stop in the morning. Many companies or many training institutes are doing that. They are going to slot for the 4 hour, 2 hour, 8 hour, like that, but not like that with the GuiNet. You are going to get 24 into 7 uninterrupted lab. There will be a problem. I understand sometime internet issue is going to happen. Sometime VM is going to be stuck, right? So we have dedicated team. You just have to reach on this number. Some people is going to pick, they will restart your port, then your problem is going to be solved. Or probably if you have some major issue like device not functioning right way, then we can just, some wipe condition, we can reboot, factory reboot, then it is going to start working for you all. So 24 into lab, that is going to be available. Hands-on experience is going to be there. And also you are going to do practice as per your convenient time. All right. Moving next. If I talk about the SD-WAN like training module, how it is going to look like. So it's an official training module, which I'm just showing in front of you all. They have total 6 modules in the SD-WAN. You just go in the Cisco learning portal sites and just find out the Cisco SD-WAN syllabus, right? You are going to find the same syllabus which I'm just presenting in front of you. So you can validate our syllabus. That's absolutely aligned with the Cisco. Nothing is missed. Exactly what content it's mentioned in the Cisco SD-WAN syllabus for the exam, the same syllabus is going to cover. So once you done this Cisco SD-WAN course, even you are eligible to give the Cisco SD-WAN exams. and that exam is like going to be like you have to book online and you have to pay almost 350 US dollar. And then you're just going to crack the exam, and then your CB is going to be more powerful after that. But CB only going to be more powerful once you have the right knowledge. So you just have to acquire a lot of knowledge, a lot of practice from the labs. So in this Cisco SD-WAN module, total we have the 6 modules. That is your architecture. That's the more powerful. Okay. We have the strategy, how we can deploy the controller. We have the strategy, how we can deploy the routers. Means actual edge routers, how the WAN edge router is going to deploy. WAN edge, if I am going to tell, not only the VH router, we are going to deploy even the CH router. I'll show you all the step-by-step process. Then we'll have to discuss about the policy, which have the control policy. We have the data policies. Further, these control and data policy has been classified into 2 parts. That is the centralized policy, right? And the second one is the localized policy. So you have to understand what is centralized your control policy, what is centralized your data policy, what is localized my data policy, and what is localized my control policy. Most of the interview, when you're going to like give the interview for the SD-WAN, they will ask 80%, 70% question from the policy, and this for localized and centralized policy. So if you not have the right strategy, right understanding, probably would be difficult for you to crack the interview. Yes, Richard, you have the question, please ask.
Yeah, so is the FTDs and firepowers and FCM, all that stuff, is that part of this, or is that like a separate thing?
That is totally separate thing, because if you talk with the SD-WAN box, right? So VH or CH, let's talk about the VH router. This router have the inbuilt security feature, means firewall is already inbuilt here, right? But that security is totally part of the next generation security training. But because this syllabus not include the security training, but I'll give the one lab, one scenario where I can show you how you can create the policy in this particular SD-WAN router in the firewall feature, how we can do the URL filtering, how we can do the IPS integration, how we can do the IDS integration, how we can do the Cisco umbrella integration, and based on that you can create the policy, and also based on the application how we can do the filtering and all. So this is the already inbuilt in this particular SD-WAN fabric. Let me show you another lab. Just give me 1 minute. So probably you can correlate what I'm trying to make a point here. So if I just go and open this lab. So recently we have done one like batch where I'll just cover this all. So let me just log in. So let me go here. So you guys can understand what I'm trying to explain here, how the security module is going to look like inside of the SD-WAN fabric. So I just go here and I'll just log into this device. This is the vManage. If you don't know about this vManage, so we'll explain how it is going to look like. So this is my Cisco vManage. I'll just put the username and password. So see, some WAN is down, router is down for me, some WAN is router is up for me, vSmart, vBond, vManage. So I'll explain. But if you see the security module we have, right? In this security module, even one router, let's suppose on this router, I want to integrate some firewall features like URL filtering. Let's suppose any user coming from the LAN want to go in the WAN, and I want to just define the URL filtering, some kind of the port blocking, IP whitelisting, blocking. Then this feature, you can see this is the final GuiNet security policy, which we created in the last 10th of January only. So if I want to add some security policy, let me demonstrate some brief idea, and I just go for the any custom policy. Okay. So in this custom policy, what you guys going to get that, and trust me guys, these are the future. Okay. See, this is a firewall feature. So I can create any new firewall policy. Let's suppose I can create any test firewall policy. I'm just showing you. I'm not going to test anything, but I can apply some zones here where the traffic is coming, where it is going. So I can just give some zone. Let me just give the LAN to WAN. I just want to show all features, what it is available. So firewall, you can see it is available here. After firewall, if you just save this and go next. So let me go some descriptions. I'm not setting any kind of the parameter here. It's a default. After firewall, what next? So intrusion preventions. So you can do the IPS configuration here. So now IPS. So if you want to define any IPS feature, you can add it here. I'm not going to add. So after that, URL filtering. So you can do the URL filtering here also. You can do the advanced malware protections. You can add it here. If you want to integrate Cisco umbrella DNS security, for that DNS security, that is also possible. We can do that. And finally, your policy is going to ready, and you can apply this policy on any VH router. That VH router is going to become a router plus firewall, and then it is going to give the exact feature what firewall can do that. Okay, clear? So this how it is going to push, how the policy is going to push. So you can see here we already added a security policy in template, and this template is already pushed to device. So you guys also going to learn. So if I go here in the template, so you don't know what is template. So I'll explain. We have the device template, we have the feature template, and what is the UH? We'll see that. But let me show you.
Yeah, so it's almost like saying SASE or cloud versus standalone appliance. Like the firepower would be a standalone appliance. The SD-WAN is sort of the SASE or cloud
Exactly.
firewall.
So if it about William SASE first component is the, if you don't know what is SASE guys, secure access service edge, okay? And SASE have the multiple component, okay? First component is the SD-WAN. So if you want to become the SASE engineer, you have to learn the SD-WAN. Then you have the secure web gateway, sorry, SWG. Then you have the GTNA, right? Then we have the CASB and some more like firewall as a service we can just consider. These are the major components: GTNA, CASB, SD-WAN, and secure web gateway. If you are just going to understand these all components, then you are going to become a SASE engineer. But right now, even you are going to learn the SD-WAN, you are partially SASE engineer. But once you have the firewall and proxy knowledge, you are the full SASE engineer. All right, clear? Richard, clear for you?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Any other question, guys, or shall I move as per my plan?
Hi, this is Tausif. Just one question.
Vishal, is this for especially SD-WAN classes or something else like that?
This is just for the Cisco SD-WAN. That is a Catalyst SD-WAN, okay, or Viptela SD-WAN. So it is the SD-WAN. Cisco SD-WAN has been renamed in the three format. I will explain the story. So might be you can say Cisco SD-WAN, you can say the Viptela SD-WAN, or you can say as a latest name is the Catalyst SD-WAN. So all three are the same, and you are talking about all about three. Rahul, clear you?
So, are you going to cover all these things or one?
See the all three as a name, but product is the just SD-WAN. Even you are going to talk Cisco SD-WAN, it was the old. Viptela SD-WAN is what old. Now it's renamed as the Catalyst SD-WAN. So all are the same. Nothing are difference here.
Okay.
Only name has been changed. Earlier this was a Viptela, again renamed as a Cisco. Now it's a Catalyst, but product is same. Let's suppose you have the one car, okay? That car was might be earlier name was the Tata, right? Now it's become some kind of the Audi or might be some kind of Jaguar, but car is your original car is the belong to the same company. Just branding has been changed.
So how long it's going to?
It's going to take 2 months.
2 months.
Yes, we are going to finish in March.
And like it's per day classes or like weekly or weekend?
To launch due to high demand. One is the weekdays. So weekdays is 8:30 p.m. IST to 10 p.m. IST.
Huh?
And this is a weekday. Weekend is 10 a.m. IST to 12:30 p.m. IST.
Regular day, 5 days.
This is the 3 days in a week, and this is the 2 day in a week. Saturday, Sunday.
Saturday, Sunday, that would be in evening time, right?
Morning time.
Morning
10
time.
p.m. Yeah. Okay, Rahul. Yes, Tausif, you asking something. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Vishal. So just asking about the SASE part. So in this course, are we going to cover the SASE journey as well? All the components we are going to discuss, or just the basic SD-WAN
There's no
knowledge?
problem. If you guys really want to discuss SASE journey, I can explain the SASE component, right? As I mentioned, like you should know the SD-WAN to become the SASE engineer. So SD-WAN definitely we are going to cover full, right? We have to understand the GTNA. We have to understand the CASB. We have to understand the firewall as a service, right? Sorry, FWAAS, and also secure web gateway. So if you guys want to understand, let's suppose SD-WAN understand, you want to understand what is GTNA concept, CASB. So theoretically, we can discuss anytime. There is no problem at all. You can ask any classes to me. I can explain it. No problem at all. Okay, Tasif?
Sorry, yeah, but just one last question, because I know this is advanced SD-WAN. We have to discuss about Cisco Umbrella and all. So just want to know about that part. So if it is included here, or just like you can ask anytime. This is the point.
See, the Cisco umbrella integration is not possible, to be honest, because for that require the license. All right.
Yes.
So if you want to integrate, how I can tell how it is going to be integrated, but that license we don't have. So that's part of the security, and that's require the proper contract from the Cisco, and the license is going to be required. That we don't have. So
Alright.
Cisco umbrella we are not going to cover for sure. But if you want to learn how the policy is going to create with a firewall, URL filtering, malware protections, advanced threat protections, normal firewall configuration, that already I show you how the policy is going to be created. So I can create a policy, I can showcase the policy. That is doable. But Cisco umbrella is not possible. I don't want to set wrong expectations.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Got it. Got it. Thank you, Mr. Shah. Thank you very much.
Any other question, guys? So I'll go next. Please tell me. Okay. So taking as a no question as of now. So guys, we have this 6 module. In this 6 module, we are going to do the lot of deep dive, and we are going to understand a lot of things about the architecture, deployment, router policy, security and quality, you can see, and management and operations. So let me break down the syllabus. So at least you can understand what level of the learning you are going to get in terms of the overall content of the Cisco SD-WAN. And if you have any specific requirement, that also let me know. Probably that is not covered in the syllabus, but I can explain, because you can see in the lab also. Let me show you. We created, hold on, wait, where is my lab? Hold on, guys. Okay, probably it is here. Okay, so in this particular section, you can see that even the policy, we created a last batch total how many? 14 policy, but that much policy probably are not available in the syllabus. That is a centralized policy. We created almost 4 localized policy that probably not available in the syllabus, right? If I talk about the templates, so you can see we have the 4 device template, that's okay. But if we talk about the feature templates, we get 30 feature template. So that's too much. Means everything we touched. So what I'm trying to make a point here, something even because I'm like doing the real time implementation and deployment. So I have the right strategy sometime what need to you learn, right? So that level of understanding sometime not available in syllabus, so I can tell. So if you have any kind of specific requirement, just discuss with me as well along with the syllabus. So you don't like miss something. So let's talk about one by one architecture. So in architecture, what we are going to discuss about, you are going to learn about the key component of the Cisco SD-WAN. Means what is orchestration plane? You can see we have the management plane. So you have to understand what is the management plane as well. So we have the like vBond, NAT, vManage. We have to understand the control plane, vSmart, VMP. We have to understand about the data plane, VANEDGE, TLOC, IPsec, GRE, vRoute, and VFD. Just wanted to check how many of you aware about these keywords. How many of you? Just raise your hand. To be honest, how many of you aware about these keywords? I can see Tosif is aware. Please raise your hand honestly. If you know, let's suppose you want to become the SDWAN engineer, but someone is going to ask at least what is a V-bond? So guys, please mute. So guys, say thanks Tausif, thank Arun, right, for raising. I can see out of 30 people, 2 people are only aware. So this is the like what I just wanted to make a point in early of the class, and Ravi as well. So we have almost 9% people. If I just compare, like 3 people are aware, 3-4 people are aware. So 9 to 10% we have the like success rate in this class. Out of 30 plus people are here. So trust me, if you are going for the interview and you don't know the architecture, nobody is going to select. Configuration is a secondary part, but they're going to ask about, can you define the orchestration plane? Can you define the management plane? Can you define the control plane? Can you define the data plane? Why VH is going to use for the data plane? Why not VH can use for the control plane? Why management plane is going to be required here? If my vmanage is the all configuration like handling device, then why it is pushing this configuration to the other devices? Which tunnel it is going to bring the configuration? What protocol is going to bring the configuration? This kind of the question is going to be coming across you, and they are going to ask, what is T-lock? Why T-lock? What is the use of the IPsec in GRE in the SD-WAN? Why GRE? Why IPsec? What is the V route? What is the OMP route? What is the T-lock route? What is the service insertion route? Service route? So what is a BFD? So that is going to discuss in very depth in SD-WAN architecture in the component. This is my responsibility. I'll explain. At the same time, we have to understand about the SD-WAN edge platform and the. I'll show you different model of the SD-WAN routers. CH router, like we have the VS1000, we have the VS2000, we have the VS5000. So we have to also understand about the different architecture. It's a virtual device, it's a hardware device, where it can be installed. If it's a virtual, what the cloud is going to be supported. If I want to install in the private cloud, virtual cloud means the public cloud, then what is the prerequisite for that as well? Yes, Arun, you have question you want to ask?
Hi Vishal, I just want to know that, okay, are we going to cover V8000 as well on the cloud?
Yes, so exactly, that's the very good question. So you see in our lab topology, if you see this device, this is CSR router, but this is not V, it's a 1000, right? It's a CSR 1000V, not 8000. Okay, it's a virtual device, but we can integrate that also, right? But in our lab, we have the 1000V. We have the specific requirement for the 8000, so I can just check that it can be integrated, or the same thing, only the CLI or the hardware model or software model is going to change.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Vishal.
Okay. So that WAN capability is going to discuss. Then we have to discuss about the cloud on-ramp services. Let's suppose you have to integrate the SaaS application. SaaS application. What is SaaS application? Anyone know what is SaaS applications? Anyone using SaaS application right now? What is SaaS application? Who all know that?
Software as a service.
So can you give me any example name of the application? SaaS application?
I can give, is it Office 365?
Very nice. Office 365. What else, guys? Any other?
Oracle Fusion, Office 365, Exchange, lots of applications are there.
Yes, Tausif, right. So software service, that is the application which is going to access from the anywhere without any hardware dependency by your company. No application dependency. You just have to take a subscription and use from the anywhere. Like Office 365, we have the Google Drive, right? We have the what I can say, lot of Salesforce. We have other booking portals available. So a lot of software services available in the market. You just have to use the subscriptions from their providers, and you can just access the services. So how these software services integration is going to happen in our actual productions? Even you can see in our lab, we integrated the, let me show you, cloud on the ramp services. See, so I just integrated Salesforce, Amazon AWS, Dropbox, Office 365, and based on that, we can measure what is the quality is going to look like. It's a bad quality, average quality, and good quality particular software. And let's suppose we have the dual link available, right? And based on that dual link, let's suppose you are accessing, this is the another link we have. This is the ISP A, and this is the ISP B. And let's suppose this is my SAS O365. We have the reachability via this and via this. So if you are going to integrate this cloud on RAM feature on this particular SD-WAN fabric, then they are going to keep track the application status, means whether it's performing good or bad from this link and whether it's performing good and bad from this link based on the loss, latency and jitter. If this path is the primary but loss, latency, jitter is going to be lower down, then it will auto switch the traffic for the user to the secondary link, and that it is going to give the best user experience. So that's the cloud on the RAM. We are going to see how it is going to integrate it. Arun, you have a still question? You raise the hand, I can see. Okay, so we have the yes. Okay. Okay. So we have the IaaS, that is infrastructure services, where you are going to deploy your application, your some kind of the application on the data center. Rest thing is going to manage by the provider. So some partial thing we are going to deploy. So that how integration is going to happen, what is a prerequisite going to happen with the cloud provider, that I'll discuss. That is not doable in the lab because we require the API key and all from the ISP, Amazon and Azure. That is not like doable. Co-location. Let's suppose you want to rent your services from the different service provider. Then how it is possible? What is the period? So you are going to understand at least theoretically and some practically how these cloud services are going to integrate with Cisco SD-WAN in the architecture part. So overall this architecture, we are going to get almost everything which is going to help to crack your interview. All right. Then we are going to come in the module 2. That's the also very important because now you have the right theoretical knowledge. So you have to do some practicals as well. So you have to understand, let's suppose I have the controllers. So controller, we have the vManage, we have the vSmart, we have the vBond. How these controllers are going to deploy? It's a private cloud requirement. It's a public cloud requirement. It's a hardware. It's a pure software. And what is the hypervisor and how the step by step their certification is going to happen, installation is going to happen, and then scalability and redundancy part, how it is going to look like in the controller point of view. Then we'll discuss the certificate, device list, and also let's suppose some control connection is not coming between this controller. What could be the minimum region? Basic region to that connection is not coming up, and how we can troubleshoot that. That also we are going to understand. So this is the one of the complex thing in the SD-WAN, the controller deployment. One of the complex thing, I'm telling you, you have to be very patient because it's not very easy to do this deployment. Trust me guys, this is the one of the toughest thing in the SD-WAN because it's required a lot of work to just do the configuration and onboard the devices. Once you do that, rest things going to be easy and you can understand and do that. 99% organizations, even who are SD-WAN engineer, they never did such kind of deployment in the production environment because that is the pre-built going to always come from the Cisco. You can only do if you're in a very higher level, might be the L4 level, consultant level, architect level, you're working with closely for the vendors from your company, then only you might be going to get a chance. That is a one-time deployment. So technically, it's a very less learning opportunity to controller deployment in the productions. But in the lab, if you want to do, you can do 100 times because lab is going to be always there with you next 2 months, right? So you are going to daily deploy or might be twice in a day, thrice in a day. So you can learn each and everything, how it is going to happen. Okay. So this is about the controller deployment. Now, once we done with the controller deployment and everything is done, so then we have to move over the router deployment. Now it's time to the router. How router is going to configure, means different branches we have. How this branch is underlay going to build from the public internet, private internet, okay? And then how they are going to build the underlay overlay connectivity. So that's the onboarding of the WAN devices. What is the zero touch provisioning? Plug and play concept, data center regional hub deployment. You can say we have the data centers. If I want to make a regional hub or DC this one and regional hub this one, I can make that. I want to make DCDR, so I can split this site in 2 parts. That is also doable. I can do that. And then we have the different branch location. So see, underlay, overlay connectivity, dynamic tunnels. What is the automatic dynamic tunnel is going to build between the branch locations? via the IPsec, via the BFD, via the DTLS, TLS. So what is the use of dynamic tunnel, how the data path is going to be happen, that also we're going to understand. Configuring the OMP, that is a overlay management protocol. So what is the OMP? Probably most of the interview always going to ask about the OMP. So OMP is the overlay management protocol. This is similar to the BGP, OSPF, EIGRP, right? Or ISIS. So we know that BGP have the different AD value 20, 200, EIGRP, OSPF having 1110, 90, 170, ISIS 1115, right? Similarly, OMP also have the AD value. There is two AD value. One is the VH have the AD value 250 or CH having the AD value of the 251. So there is two AD value of the OMP. If you are going to use in the VH router and you are going to advertise the route, then it's a 250. And if you are going to use a CS, then it is going to be 251. So that also we have to understand how the configuration is going to happen, how the route is going to be installed in the routing table. So that also we have to understand, like receive route, install route, and send route. There is three parameters for the every route. So if you see, let me just show you something. Probably you're not going to understand for right now, but let me just show you some output so you can correlate. So if I'm going here and just I want to show you show OMP peer just from the CLI. So you are going to find the OMP pair and you can see we are receiving 20 route, R is received. We are sending the route, that is a 8, and also we are installing the route in the 8 in the routing table. And you want to say full routing table of this OMP. So you just have to use in tabular format. You're going to find that much route, which is coming different prefix. They have different state where is the T-log, color, encapsulation, different kind of the information it is showing that. So why this is very important, we'll understand in the configuration of the lab. Then we have to understand the actual how the VRRP is going to live, because SD doesn't support HSRP. So we have to understand the VRRP. We have to understand with the BGP configuration with the LAN integrations. We have to configure the OSPF, EIGRP, and its redistribution. So everything about the legacy WAN scenario, if I want to integrate any legacy protocols, then also it is going to be integrated about the SD-WAN solution. And then also we discuss the multicast feature. We don't have to do lab, but at least we understand how it is going to be supported by the SD-WAN. Okay, then the fourth module, that's the most important module. After these two deployment and theory, every module is important, but policy, that's the brain of the SD-WAN. Means how my configuration policy is going to be happen. As I mentioned that we have the centralized policy, we have the localized policy. Then how the centralized policy is going to be look like, how the centralized policy is going to be deployed, how the localized policy is going to deploy, and what is the step-by-step configuration of achieving these policies, data policy, end-to-end VPN segmentation, topology manipulations, hub and spoke deployment, spoke to spoke deployment, full mesh deployment, that also we have to understand. And then we have to configure DIA, direct internet access circuit. That is a DIA. So you can see even in this lab topology, we have the DIA circuits that is going to direct on the internet. So if I want to send some traffic directly from the internet from this particular LAN subnet, then how policy is going to build, how the NAT is going to be configured, that also we are going to discuss in our session. Okay. So I hope it is clear. And then there is a concept of the application aware routing. That's also very important, guys. So we have to understand what is the application aware routing, how this application aware routing is going to configured in the Cisco SD-WAN. Just one question: how many you know that application aware routing? Have you heard about that? AAR versus destination based routing. What does means? Application aware routing versus destination based routing. Anyone know about that? If someone is going to Tasif, just hold down. I know you can answer. But what others? AAR versus no, right? Okay. Tasif, you want to make a point? You can just Speak up. Tosif, we are looking the answer for the application aware routing versus any destination based routing. Richard is saying, and different vendor use the same word but different thing. Okay, let me make you clear here. So say, when I talking about destination based routing means, let's suppose you have any router, this router having the routing table, right? This routing table have the multiple route installed. Let's suppose this is the one route /24. This is the 192.168.10.0/24. And this is the 172.16.10.0/24. And this one having a next hop is like 11.10.1.1. This one having a 12.10.11.1, and this one having the 10.1.1.1. These are three next hop, right? For any kind of the routing protocol, could be the static, could be dynamic. So if any user is coming for this router and they want to go on this destination, they always have to follow the destination, and based on destination they have to go out, right? That is a destination based routing. Means your routing is happening based on a destination address. Means the packet is going to create it from this user. They have the source IP address, they have the destination IP address. Let's suppose source IP address is 123.10.10.10 and want to go on the destination 10.10.10.0/24. The next hop would be this address. So that is always going to happen based on the destination IP. But what if I'm going to say this user want to go on the Facebook, want to go on the YouTube, want to go on the Gmail, right? Want to go in the WhatsApp. And based on these applications, I want to do routing. I let's suppose this router have two links. This ISP A and this ISP B. I want to say WhatsApp routing should go via this one. Gmail routing should go via this. Is it possible, guys? Is it possible? Router can understand the application. What do you think? Router can understand the application, or that understand only the layer 3 destination IP address? What do you think? Anyone? Router can understand the application or only can understand the IPs? I can have some chats. So I can see usually no firewall to understand the apps. Okay. No need firewall to understand, only IP. Okay. So guys, generally router have the limitations. They work on the layer 3 and they can understand only the IP. So if we want to do the routing based on the application, it is not possible. Not possible. It means a normal router. But let's suppose I replace this router with the SD-WAN router. This is my VH router or my CH router. And now if user is coming, same user is coming, and now they have the flexibility, they can do the routing based on the destination IP and also based on the apps, which is your WhatsApp, what is your Facebook, what is your YouTube, whatever you have apps, that is also possible. So we have the both flavor. That's the things. We have the application aware routing. Application aware routing, AAR, is something where you can do the routing based on the application. Okay. So we'll see in the live testing how it is going to happen. I exactly draw the live scenario where I'll send the some application from the one link, some application from the other link. So you can understand how this application aware routing is going to be happen. Okay. So this is the application aware routing. All right, so let me move next. After fourth module, we have the security and quality of service module. In this section, now you have to understand about the firewall features. You have to configure the service insertion. So you still don't know what is service insertion. It's a new thing in the SD-WAN where you can integrate the firewall services, you can integrate the network services, you can integrate any kind of the third party services. By leveraging that, you can do the different kind of the route manipulations where you want to send some route from data center, some route from the regional hub. That all it's possible via the service insertion. Okay. So we will do the configuration exactly for the service insertion. We'll see how the service insertion is going to be happen, and also we'll do the testing as well. And then we will understand at same time what is the application aware enterprise firewall available in the like Cisco SD-WAN. The same thing what I explained earlier. IPS engine, URL filtering, EMP, SSL, TLS. These all theoretically you have to understand. You don't have to do any testing, but I'll create one small lab. I'll show you how it is going to be configured. Okay. And then we have to understand theoretically about DNS security. This is Cisco umbrella. Okay. How it is going to look like to secure DNS. We have to understand about the secure web gateway. So most of the things we are going to understand theoretically about the SASE part as well. So only we left with the GTNA and the CASB. That also we discuss in this particular module. So at least you are going to get overview of the entire SASE product. So in future, if you have the portfolio to work in the security proxy domain, you can easily work on that. And lastly, we'll do the QS configuration. We'll understand the scheduling, queuing, shaping, policy, marking, per tunnel adaptive QS as well. So that not going to be too much useful, to be honest, because right now nobody is talking about the QS because we have the very high capacity internet links. That's why SD-WAN is here. QS was very, important earlier stage when we have the lower bandwidth circuit and we have to prioritize this like our services. But right now QS is like it's like a feature available, but very less consideration in the productions. So it's up to us, right? How much we are going to invest time on the QS, but definitely we'll discuss about it. Once we done this, we're left with the last module. There we are going to discuss about the authentication process, how we can do the authentication monitoring, reporting from the vManage. We can see the authentication profile, how we're going to create, how we can create the users, how we can upgrade the software, what does means REST API. So these are the theoretical stuff and some kind of the day-to-day operational stuff we are going to discuss during the session. And this is how our journey is going to happen for this Cisco SD-WAN in 2025. And this is exactly same official syllabus I'm talking, right? And we are going to just follow the official outline of the Cisco SD-WAN. So that's all from my side, right, guys? And why you should join this GuiNet technology? Because you are going to be get 24 into lab access. You are going to get like one-to-one like mentor because we are going to discuss in live and where you can ask one-to-one doubt question. And also you are going to enjoy lifetime video access. And if you have any kind of the job assistant, so we keep updating our job portals or maybe social media and also our community, so they are going to get all entire information about the upcoming jobs or my current job in a different company. So that's why you are going to always keep in touch with us, and you are going to get always advantage about any kind of the open position or any kind of the you have the learning requirement. So that's all from my side for today about the overview and the course content about the journey versus Cisco SD-WAN, because this was the agenda for today's session. Probably we'll kick off this session very soon by Friday or probably this Saturday. First batch we are going to start. Okay. Any questions anyone have? Please ask. It's your time now because I spoke a lot. I don't want to speak now. You just please ask your question. Whatever you have a question, please ask. Don't hesitate.
Hi, Vishal.
Yes, Rahul.
Actually, I wanted for CCNP level courses, but I mean, some of a person from your side, like Abhishek, has suggested me to join for this demo classes. So how going to complete like a CCNP level courses? That is,
Actually, I just want to few question to you. Whether I want to check you are eligible for this session or not. How much you comfortable to configure the static route? Do you have,
static.
do you have any idea of the static route? How to configure? How to redistribute
Yes,
in static route?
yes, yes. I have.
Okay. How do
I
you
have done CCNA as well.
BGP?
CCNA.
You know how the IBGP is going to be configured, how the EBGP is going to be configured,
Yes, yes, I know.
and what about the
Actually,
OS?
I have. Yeah, go ahead.
What about the OSPF?
Yes, yes, I know that.
You know three things, right?
Yeah.
I would suggest everyone, even you are doing the SD-WAN, you should always do the CCNP in core. This is my recommendation or my personal advice.
Yes.
This is the Bible of the networking. CCNP in core is give you the overall all networking infrastructure. This is going to talk about the SD-WAN, basic, just basic, not any depth. Okay. They're going to talk about the SD access, right? They are going to talk about the automations. They are going to talk about the wireless. They are going to talk about the architecture of the any networking component. They are going to talk about the switching concept. They are going to talk about the routing concept as well. So if you really want to learn something, so you just go and learn CCNP in core. But at the same time, if you are very much comfortable with the static route, you are very much comfortable with the BGP, especially for the IBGP or EBGP, then you can go for the SD-WAN blindly. This is my commitment. You can learn easily because everything is going to new for you. Only we know how to build the underlay via static route. This thing you should know static route how it is going to build. Secondly, how to configure the BGP. Third thing, how to redistribute OMP to BGP, BGP to OMP. That's thing. Rest every manipulation is going to happen based on the OMP. That is a completely new protocol. So you can
Do we
start.
require MPLS here?
No MPLS not required.
Okay.
Not required. Okay. Clear, Rahul?
Yes, yes. Actually, you can say at least average plus. I have completed CCNP, NRC of Encore. So I need to brush up more and more. So that's why I
Well, I will
wanted
ask
to.
Abhishek sir to give you the more customized like suggestion for you. So where you're going to get more benefits. Okay. So I'll
Yes,
talk
yes.
personally for you. Okay. Don't worry. After the class, I'll talk to him. He will guide you some better way. But if you have that much knowledge, what you committed, okay? So
Mhm.
from my side, you are okay to join the class. If you're going to say I don't have the knowledge, and if I just really want to brush up, then you just go and brush up, then come to this session. Okay?
Mm.
One question that I asked,
Yes, yes, please go ahead.
Samir this side. So in this session, it was very good, and I
Thank you
would
so
like
much.
to ask about the migration plan. Let's suppose currently I'm working in a telecom domain in Nokia. Okay,
Okay.
so my profile is that we need to migrate some customers from legacy to SD-WAN box. How that means you're going to cover such kind of things in this in your course or what?
You see, the course is not about the migration, okay? First of all, but if you really want to know your use case, how migration is going to happen, probably in the previous batch we have covered that because I think there was a requirement. So you have to understand, let's suppose you have the, let me draw something. That's a very good question. By the way. So let's suppose you have the different branch location. Let's suppose this is your branch 1, this is your branch 2, and this is your branch 3, this is your branch 4. We have the dual routers, all location it's a connected, but they are the non-SD-WAN router, right?
Yeah.
Internet, and we have the MPLS. So this is the R1, this is the R2, this is the R1, this is the R2, this is the R1, this is the R2, this is the R1, this is the, just ignore my bad writing, guys. I'm not that much professional teacher. Okay. So we have in the this branch that is your WAN branch. Now you want to migrate this branch on the SD-WAN. Okay. This is a requirement. So what is this?
Batting, Papa, batting.
Rahul, please mute. So you want to understand how this migration is going to happen. So there is a step-by-step process, Samir, right? We cannot do the migration in the production, means our lab environment. but I can guide you what is the best practice to the migration. Means what you have to build first, and after how you can onboard the sites. Right? Let's just giving the overview. First,
Because in the migration, what is the requirement? The legacy
yes,
network would be there. Some network, some sites would running on the legacy, and some would be on SD-WAN.
yes. Saying let's suppose you have to build first control plane. This you are going to build very first, right? Without this, it is not going to happen. Then you have to create your let's suppose this is your data center, right? Branch 2 is acting a data center. Just think about, so you have to build a parallel one of the SD-WAN fabric here. Let's suppose you're going to build a one router R1 and R2 here, and they're going to connect with the same internet. And this are also connected with the same ISP. Might be the drawing is wrong, but they are connected with the same fabric of transport. So first you are going to build these two VH router, that is your SD-WAN router, and they are going to come as a SD-WAN fabric on a control plane. Then you have to make the interconnect between these two locations. Drawing is not correct. I'll draw right away how it is going to happen when we'll discuss in the 1 hour session, in the actual session. Then you have to advertise your LAN route in the SD-WAN fabric and SD-WAN route in the your LAN subnet. And from there, it is going to act as a, like this site is going to act as a transit, and you're going to exchange your OMP out here. Further, you're going to advertise in the BGP and BGP into OMP. So once someone is wanted to access this SD-WAN site, let's suppose this wanted to access your SD-WAN site. First, it will come to this your hub location. Via your core switch, they are going to land to the SD-WAN branch, and then further they will talk to the SD-WAN LAN subnet. If SD-WAN branch want to talk this branch location, then it will get route from your DC cross connect, and then it will go to the another branch. This is how your overall transition is going to happen. So yeah, this scenario we're going to discuss, Samir, if you really want to learn.
But here the problem is that we have the WAN connectivity for underlay on the legacy one only. We do not have a new link. We cannot terminate new link on the SD-WAN box. I will use that link which we are using on the legacy router, but after the migration.
So see, if you're using the same link, so you have two router. So you can use the one router as a your SD-WAN transitions and one router as a production. Okay. If you have the same link. So you
Is it
have
possible that we cannot terminate any link directly on the SD-WAN box initially? That all the routes will take a routing decision from the from the legacy and the cross connect.
there is another two way. You have to take a public IP, you have to extend in the LAN, you have to make the reachability to the controller with the LAN subnets. Okay. That is going to advertise. That is one solution, or might be you have to do the NAT reversals. You have to integrate some NAT, and based on that, you can just make your SD-WAN devices reachable to the controller so that they can reach via the LAN without interrupting your WAN services as well. So you have the multiple solutions, Samir, right? And we have to explore that which solution is suitable for you based on your requirement.
Yeah, the problem is that the enterprise actually the customer don't want to invest much money. So in the very minimum infrastructure we have to do work,
That's
and
we have the 4 5 solutions. As I mentioned, either we can do the hot cutover, right? Hot cutover means we are going to just do like production, like site to be there, and then we have to swap the link and all. We build our fabric. Other we have the parallel setup. We can do the parallel setup, means the new hardware we are going to build, new circuit we are going to build, and then we can integrate that. Third option, we can use the same circuit by removing from one router to the new router, that is SD-WAN, then we can do the migration. If that all is not possible, then we have to think about the LAN point of view. Can we take the public IP address, that is a lower cost, and then that you can advertise to reach to the controller, then we can build the communication. If that is also not possible, I have the private IP, then we have to think of the NAT. That's only 4 5 options available. If all this not available, so customer should say like I should not use this SD-WAN. Because around we have.
yeah,
ठीक है?
correct.
So any other question?
Sir, I have one question. Hello.
Please go ahead.
First of all, most thank from you, Sergi. I'm overseas, not from India, so that my question gonna be little bit different from others guys. Sergi, first thank from you that you have gave this opportunity for us to stay here and join with you in this live session. My question is about the importance and percentage of SD-WAN usage in the world. If you explain this, I'm not working in SD-WAN, but interested in this. I'm working currently in data center level, storage management, and networking side. But
Mhm.
question is just about SD-WAN. If you tell us about additionally MPLS and BGP usage of SD-WAN and percentage of SD-WAN in current world, if you explain this, sir, and importance of this. Just please, I ask from such a question because I came so late, and that's the reason that I do such a question from you. And as I told you that I'm not uh, from India, and I'm overseas from India, not from India. So if you please and answer this question about the importance and about the usage area and about the percentage of SDWAN, just this question. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Tamim, and you're most welcome in my session. I really appreciate you join.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Okay, sir. Thanks
Really
from you
love to
also.
answer all query. So first, you're asking the usage area, importance, and benefits of this SD-WAN, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
if I talk about the benefits, right, for the SD-WAN,
Mm.
we have a lot of right, we have a lot of benefits. Like it is going to improve the performance, boost the security, lower the complexity. Now, just give the slides, but I would like to give the real time example, which right now time is not allowing. So next session, I'll explain how basically this SD-WAN is overcoming this all problem from the legacy WAN.
Mm.
They have a lot of benefits, right? Lot of benefits like zero trust fabric, zero trust provisioning, application aware routing, predictable application experience, internet intent based route networking, reduced costs, enable cloud uses. That all feature was not available, is not available in the legacy WAN. That's why people are moving
Yeah, yeah.
to the SD-WAN. That's the first thing. I'm not going to deep, just giving the overview.
Okay.
Nowadays every company are moving to digital transformation and everyone want to become the flexible networking in their infrastructure. So that's why if you just go and read the survey about the SD-WAN, future of the SD-WAN, we have the lot of requirements and lot of almost every company is moving their WAN solution toward the SD-WAN. So that's the how the transformation is going to happen. So in upcoming up to 2028 or 2030, we are going to see everywhere SD-WAN is there and every customer is using the SD-WAN next 5 years. So that's the future expansion is going to happen for the SD-WAN. And what was your third question, Tosif?
Yeah, hi, Mr. Charles.
Yes,
So
Tosif.
first of all, thanks for this great demo class today.
Thank you, Tosif.
Yeah, so one query not regarding the SD-WAN, I mean, for sure.
Yes.
So if I was just want to know about the CCI lab. Are we in GuiNet? Do we have something like that?
So see, we have the CCI lab, but that CCI lab, like we are going to provide the infrastructure where you can build the lab, right? And that is not a lab where you can just go for the CCI, like exactly the other vendors are giving for the your preparation where you can give the exam. This lab is basically you're going to get the resources you can manipulate or simulate n number of devices without any restrictions, right? You can create any switching lab in the real production environment, any routing lab, you want to do any SD-WAN lab, that is also possible. So SD access is not possible. SD access is not possible because that required the real device. Apart from SD access, whatever the component required in the CCI lab, topology we have, we can give that topology. If you want to EVNG file where the proper lab is, that is also available. But if you think like that is the actual copy of the lab, which is basically people use to just practice, that is not available with us. And we
Yeah,
are not.
because honestly speaking, I'm just looking for to pursue the exam for CCI. Okay, because I mean I have lots of experience, alhamdulillah, so we are working for ACI, we have SD-WAN, we have SDA fabric, but I want to just continue for with one of the vendor, okay, to complete this CCI lab. So is there any class, any
If you,
session from
if,
GuiNet?
You want to give the CCA exam?
Exactly.
So we are the right player for that. Okay, sorry for that. We can give the infrastructure for to just explore your CCI level of knowledge. But if you want to just go and do the step-by-step practice, I can understand. I cannot tell on the record, okay, because we are on the live. So that we are not a live vendor for that. Okay, Tosif, I want to very clear.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Vishal. Got it.
Okay, guys, any other question or we are good for today? Are we good? Shall we meet in the next class?
Yeah.
Okay. Have a great morning and great evening and good day to everyone. See you in the next session. Have a great day further.
Thank you,
Vishal,
sir.
can we
Thank
stay?
you.
Thank you. Thank you. Will
Vishal,
Thanks, Vishal.
yes,
Thanks
please.
for
can I talk to you in a few, after
Thank you,
this class?
sir. Thank you. Sir, about the contents, you're gonna share the contents with us.
Yes, we'll share the content. We'll share the content. Rahul, I'm sharing the number. Okay. Support number. I can talk on.
Your voice was working.
Let me mute. Rahul, I'm sharing one of the number in the group chat. Okay.
Okay.
Just hold on. So anyone want to talk with me? 68271. So just drop message or talk to support. They will arrange a meeting with me after this session. Okay. I'll say the number. Everyone noted?
Yeah, Mr.
Yes, yes.
Vishal, sorry, Tausif, again, just one
Yes,
question.
thank
Actually,
you.
I have purchased multiple offline courses from GuiNet, and I requested as well to have a one-to-one call with you. So,
Okay, Tosip. So you just do one thing. You just drop also message. Okay. I'll book slot for you. Okay. We'll discuss.
ठीक है, okay, all right, thank you very much.
Done.